Hey everybody, we're at Pine Mountain State Resort Park where they are celebrating 100 years, and we've just talked with Michael, who have shared some really cool things about everything they have to do here. Hope you listen in.
Michael, thank you so much for allowing us to come visit you all in Pine Mountain State Resort Park this weekend. You all are celebrating your 100th year. Is that correct?
Absolutely, very exciting. And I want to say we are glad to have you guys here.
Thanks.
We're tickled pink to be able to share our park with you guys on our 100th year.
You all have so much to showcase.
Yeah, we got a whole lot around here. A lot of people, when they come in, they stay for a weekend or they stay for a few days. Unless you actually stay for multiple trips or like a couple weeks, you're never going to have enough time to do all that we offer here.
I believe you.
Yeah.
We spent a full day yesterday on the trails and in your pool. Your pool is magnificent. Let's just sit there for a second. Is it relatively new?
So we've had our pool for a little bit. I took the CPO class this last little bit, and we've been maintaining the pool this year. And this is kind of my first season with the pool, and I've just realized how popular it is and how much people really enjoy it. So in my other positions that I work through state parks, so I've been here since 2019, and I've seen people going to and from the pool, and it's always been a really big hot spot for us down there because you've got the pool, but you've also got the pool house, which people can actually rent out and have birthday parties and things like that. So there's all kinds of different cool things you can do down there. There's our playground. That playground is basically brand new.
It's beautiful.
So that playground, when you see it, it's basically brand new. It was installed a couple of years ago. So, and then you go past our playground, you got our mini golf down there. So that's a big activity hub for up here whenever you're looking for recreation and things to do. Yeah.
I saw that we did not play mini golf, but I saw the mini golf even has some chains that I'm guessing are reminiscent of Chain Rock.
Yes.
And Chain Rock is one of the trails we went to yesterday. Tell us a little bit about, that's one of your most prominent features, I'm sure, in the park.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People want to know the story. Can you tell us a little bit about the story? It's pretty interesting.
So Chain Rock has a really cool lore behind it. And I always tell people, ask people, are you ready for story time? Because it's a really cool story. So around in the 1930s, the legend goes that children were looking around at the rock up on the top of the hill. And I mean, in this wintertime, just to give you an idea, in the wintertime in autumn when those leaves are off the trees, you can really see, looking up from Pineville, that big giant boulder, right? So it looks precarious, like it's going to fall. So, children in the town, as its legend goes, were kind of scared of it. And they thought, that's not going to roll down here and destroy the town, is it?
Right.
So, the parents and CCC and the chain, they created kind of like the Chain Rock Club. So they hauled a 101-foot chain,
wow,
7-pound links with a mule team,
wow,
up the mountain from Pineville, and they installed that chain. It's like a retaining chain to hold that boulder so that to alleviate some of that fear of that rock falling down and crushing the city. So that happened around 1933. So I couldn't imagine, even with a mule team or something like that, hauling something that heavy up that mountain.
That mountain, right.
And I hike that mountain a lot, and just me, it is a chore, So
just carry my own self up.
Yeah, and I've just to see the journey, I've hiked from Chain Rock down to Pineville, and I just could not imagine. I could not imagine bringing a giant chain like that up.
That's quite a commitment by a community to put the children's fears at bay. I mean, that's a very special story when you really think all that. Because, there was money involved. There was great physical effort involved. There was, that's a lot of community spirit and getting together and deciding this is our objective. We're going to do this. That's pretty wild.
It's pretty cool when you think about it. A lot of this, state park was it exists a lot because residents came, and they actually donated a lot of this land to the cause for the park. So when Wheeler Rouse Gilson was going around, he was the state geologist. He was trying to find areas for a state park.
Okay.
Back in the day, around like the 1920s. This was 1926 was when we were established with the Blue and Gray Old Fort Harriet and Natural Bridge. So he was looking for areas, of interest that we could create a state park, and the residents actually told him, "Hey, you should check out this area," and that's actually what brought him up here. And it kind of led to our park being formed.
Yeah.
Was actually the residents and landowners actually pointing him in the right direction.
The community understanding that what they had was truly special and needed to be preserved, and they wanted it to be preserved. That's a great part of the story too. Yeah. So what else do people need to make sure they know is here? You all have 15,000 acres, I think.
Yeah. So there's 12 miles of hiking trails.
Okay.
So you do have a lot to pick from there. Honeymoon Falls is one of our smaller waterfalls that we have. It's a waterfall feature, but I think it's really pretty because when you go down, it's kind of unique. There's all kinds of quartz that piles up at the bottom of the falls, so it's a beautiful little area. So when you get to Honeymoon Falls, it's pretty close, and there's a trailhead to the lodge. So if people are looking to hike and they don't want to drive to the other side of the mountain where Chain Rock and some of our other trails are, I always say check out Honeymoon Falls. You get to see the pretty falls. It's always best after a good rain, and all those little quartz crystals are down there. It looks really cool. Hemlock Garden is beautiful. So Hemlock Garden is you go down and you see all the giant hemlock trees and all the old hemlock trees, and you get to this really cool civilian conservation corps shelter that they built. So the CCC built a lot of this park. So when you go and look at all this beautiful stone work that you see on the trails and some of the original buildings, that was all CCC. Yeah. So they have a beautiful shelter down there on the Hemlock Garden, which I love to go down there, spend time. There's a little area called Inspiration Point that you kind of go out, and it's a nice place to meditate, relax, and you get to see a lot of mosses and fungi and different kind of wildlife down in Hemlock Garden. So I always tell people to check that trail out.
Just driving through the park, you'll have so many rhododendrons and azaleas?
Yes, and mountain laurels.
And are there magnolias as well?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, it's so abundant. Just a drive through the park is glorious when all of those are. What's blooming right now? Is that mountain laurels or are those?
So right now the rhododendron are kind of in bloom, and mountain laurels were blooming around the end of May, kind of going into June, right around where we have our Mountain Laurel Festival.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So that's one of Kentucky's oldest continuous festivals that we have. So it's the Mountain Laurel Festival, and they have it every year at the end of May. I think it started around 1933, I think is the right date. So they've been doing this for a really long time. They have the princess that's crowned, and they do that at the Laurel Cove, and it's a really fun kind of like coronation down there. We have all kinds of nice dinners with the governor. Most of the time we had the governor come up or someone from the governor's office, and we had the governor's luncheon, governor's breakfast, and things like that. So it's a really cool event. And downtown Pineville, when you go down there, you'll actually see like a carnival set up with live music, and they had like Diamond Rio this year, which is pretty cool, so we got to actually go down and enjoy the festival. Then you would come up, and then you would enjoy the park portion of it with all the beautiful dinners and all the hiking trails. So they also tell everybody, go enjoy the park. And when people come up here for the dinners and stuff like that, they're out enjoying the park, getting acquainted with the park if they've never been here. So it's a cool event.
And you all have just had another cool event, which is a music festival.
Yes, so that's the Laurel Cove Music Festival. It's been going on since 2019, and every year it gets bigger. So the Laurel Cove Festival it's like almost a folk country / there's a lot of rock in it too, kind of music festival, and it's for everybody. So it brings people from all around the world. We had a gentleman come in, he hiked from Kansas all the way here, hitchhiked. Wow. So he hitchhiked just to come here for that, and he's going to all the continents, so that's kind of cool. And he stopped at the Laurel Cove Festival, so it's in demand. And whenever we say they're going on sale, if you're interested in going to the Laurel Cove, you want to get those tickets right away because they sell out, within days of going on sale. So a lot of people will camp actually on the park and campsites and they'll actually either take a trail down to the stage where the live music is, or we'll shuttle them back and forth. We have normally over 130 campsites on park, and that's not counting the people who are staying in hotels in Millsboro that are being brought in by bus just to enjoy this music festival. So it really is a special thing.
Wow. That's the way you just described it. It sounds magical, camp and then hike into the music. That's pretty special. I know we're zipping and zapping, but there's so many things that you'll have to offer. You were mentioning the dinners. We've eaten here twice just this weekend. The food is delicious.
Yeah.
So if you're coming, don't hesitate to make sure you get your meals here too. They're so good. We had the fried green tomatoes last night.
Oh, they're a favorite. Everybody loves those.
They are so good.
Yeah, I always plug the Mountain View restaurant because that's where I got my start in Kentucky State Park. So I started in the kitchen and kind of worked all kinds of different jobs. I've worked almost every single job that there is on the park. So I get to kind of enjoy the duality of everything.
Yeah.
So the kitchen's really special. They make everything's almost homemade. They make a lot of really cool stuff like Kentucky hot brown. They've got the skillet cookies, if you've never had the skillet cookies, the derby pies.
We had the fried pie.
Yeah, the fried pie.
The fried apple pie is one of my
Yes.
favorites.
It's so
delicious.
good with the bourbon caramel sauce.
Absolutely.
Delicious. And the lobby outside of the restaurant, beautiful. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah,
Yes.
gorgeous.
So the lobby out there is actually the original portion of the lodge. So when they built the lodge, the CCC built the lodge, it was actually just that lobby area with that staircase and that portion of the porch. And, they had the cabins up here. So all this that we're sitting on right now, which is the conference center porch and the wraparound, and then you've got the restaurant and all that stuff, all that's been added on throughout the years. But when you're standing in that lobby, that's a piece of history. That's the original part.
I think we read that those are chestnut logs, which you don't see very often.
Yeah, you don't
as
see
building
very often.
materials. It's beautiful. And we've stayed at the lodge with you all this weekend. Every view is beautiful. The view from the restaurant, the view from the balconies. I mean, it's so immersive, feeling like it's a great mountain resort to come and have just a very peaceful time. As you said, whether it could be a weekend or a whole week, there's so much to do, it seems. We haven't scratched the surface. This is not our first time to Pound Mountain. But I'm sure even though we've been multiple times, we still probably haven't done it all. What else have we not discussed yet that you want to make sure people know?
So some cool stuff that we've not talked about yet is we do a lot of recreational activities, especially during the summertime. So we have a nature center. I don't know if you guys have ever visited our nature center.
We haven't visited that.
So our nature center is up behind the lodge. So if you follow this little sidewalk here, it goes from pavement, turns to gravel, and then you'll kind of see what looks like a little log cabin up on top of the hill. That's where our nature center is. So we have
visit that before we leave. Yeah.
We have native species of animals up there for people to do, like go up and check out and see what occurs around here, learn about nature, get up close and have encounters with the animals so that you can kind of appreciate all the biodiversity that happens on this mountain. So that's a lot of program animals that we have where we do school visits. I do like field trips here. We do daily activities as well. So the Nature Center is open from Wednesday to Saturday, 11 to 7. And then on Sunday, it's open 12 to 4.
Okay.
So we actually have a golf course up here, 18-hole golf course, championship golf course. So they have tournaments up here. So a lot of people come up here just for the golf, and then people that come up here to stay, they find out we got a golf course, they spend a lot of time down there. And as the resident animal wrangler, when there's sightings of snakes or something down there, they'll send me and say, hey, go down there and check and see, make sure it's not anything venomous. So I was down there the other day just riding on the golf course, and you don't realize how huge it is. It is huge, beautiful land, and there's just so much to do down there because they have the pro shop as well. In the pro shop deck, we have all kinds of weddings, events, just because it is a beautiful area. So we've also got that just down the hill, Wasiota Winds. So I just want to give them a big shout out. They do a great job. They have beautiful green down there. They take care of it wonderfully. It's one of our biggest attractions as well.
We've driven by it, and just looking from the road, it is gorgeous and well kept. So, in review, golfing, hiking, an immaculate pool, and your staff is so good down there. Delicious food, very unique folklore about the community, and amazing festivals, wildlife, comfy places to rest, camping. You all play the little Bocker ball, is that what it's called?
Yeah, so down in the lower lobby, before we started, we were playing some games of Bocker ball. That's pretty fun. It's something I never really saw before I started here. So
we've never seen it before.
Yeah, so I mean, it was down there in the lobby when I started, and like me and my friends would sneak away and go play Bocker ball down in the lower lobby. It's addicting. You get competitive.
If you're near, just stop by the lodge to play yourself a little game of Bocker ball. It's free activity. But anyway, so many things. You all have events. People can rent your facilities for their events. So many things. What have we missed?
So basically,
the Nature Center.
We talked about the Nature Center. You can go up and check out the Nature Center. So like at the pool, you could do, I don't know if I mentioned the pool parties. You can do pool parties down there if you got kids that love the pool. So another thing is we've got a little like baby amphitheater over here, which is really cute.
We saw that.
Yeah.
On the way,
So it's on the way to the Nature Center. So you got that little amphitheater down there that we do programming at. So it's a cool, unique area. And we talked about the Lower Cove Music Festival earlier. The Lower Cove Amphitheater itself, just going down and walking through it and seeing it with all the stone seats with the moss and that little pond that's in front of where the stage area would be. It's such a unique venue. It is really beautiful down there. So basically, like, a lot of people come here in the summertime, so like you can get a lot of people like traffic coming through in the summertime. Then when fall hits, you get all those pretty leaf changes and you get all the beautiful colors around there. And this year we're going to do a new thing where we're going to do fall photo weekend.
Oh.
So traditionally we've always done winter photo weekend. So we thought it'd be a fun idea this year to do fall photo weekend.
Wow.
So we'll come out and have the photographers test their skill with all the beautiful foliage around and everything. So that'll be pretty fun. We have our Halloween events going on. So we do haunted mini golf. We're bringing back the haunted trail this year, which is basically a spook house on a trail.
Okay.
Pretty cool and unique.
Love that.
So if you guys want to come out for a scare.
Did you say, I'm sorry, did you say haunted mini golf?
Yes.
That's fun.
So
have we ever done haunted mini golf? We have never. So we should probably come back for that.
Yeah, we did haunted mini golf last year. It's pretty cool. We have like the animatronics and stuff like that.
Fun.
So basically, and then we did s'mores and scary stories.
As one should.
Mm-hmm. With the glow in the dark balls and the glow in the dark putters and stuff like that. So it's really fun.
And so all of these amazing things, all the information can be found on the Kentucky State Park website, I'm sure, in your events and on your page. Is there any other way you would suggest people get information?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to the State Park website, and you can also follow us on Facebook. That's how to find out about our weekly events and certain events coming up. We post a lot on our Facebook. You'll see educational videos on there, all kinds of things that we're doing in the park. So our Facebook's pretty active.
So, I don't know. I'm sold on Pine Mountain being such a dreamy place in every season. I've only been here maybe during the summer and the winter, but I'm sure it's a place for enjoyment year round.
For all seasons.
For all seasons.
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times people, I don't think they realize how just alive the park is in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. So all the leaves are off the trees. So if you love birds, if you're a bird watcher, an ornithology nerd, you're going to want to come up here in the wintertime because you're going to see every bird that's passing through. So I'll go through and I'll see birds of prey. We get barred owls a lot during the wintertime, all kinds of species of hawks, red-tailed hawks. So, and then you'll if you get lucky, every now and then you'll see a wandering bobcat up here. So I have seen those a lot during the wintertime. So just because it is the wintertime doesn't mean, the wildlife stops on the park and that there's anything less to do on the park. We're also carrying on events during the wintertime as well. We have a lot of Christmas events that we do that are really fun.
Okay. And speaking of ornithology, I know it's Ray Harm, who was a naturalist that lived near here for a season, maybe worked for Kentucky State Parks. You all have quite the collection of his art here, of his prints. And he did wildlife in general, but his bird prints and drawings and paintings are, I guess, what he's best known for. I don't know as far as what I know of his work. So that's another amazing thing. You all are the lodge is almost like a gallery of his work. I don't remember how many prints but it's like hundreds of his prints.
Yeah, it's like 180, I think we want to say, but we have a single copy of all of his artworks.
Oh, wow.
So we have a copy of all of his artworks in the lodge, so you can see all of his artworks.
Okay.
And
so everything he did.
Yeah, and we also have one original that's in the dining room. So if you look above, like the where you first walk into the dining room, you turn around, there's a fireplace. If you look above that, there's one of a kind Ray Harm painting there, and
Okay.
it's an original of a landscape. Because he doesn't normally do landscapes. He normally does that Audubon style of the profile of the animal, catching the behavior. And he was a naturalist at heart because he was out in the field watching all these animals and their natural behaviors, and he'd recreated them, art, right? So that's kind of what we got up here. So that one of a kind piece is really cool, where he did like the whole landscape, where you could see, shagbark hickory trees and like the pileated woodpecker. He kind of snuck a bird in there, so that's pretty cool. And he's such a cool figure that if you don't know a whole lot about him, he's really cool to get actually dive into, because he was a cowboy before he did all that.
I didn't know that.
So there are some paintings of, Western themed cowboy paintings that he's done.
So you all have one copy of his complete work, basically. I didn't realize that. That's super cool.
That is.
And that's a very unique thing about your park.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other park that can say they have that level of gallery available.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. His son actually worked here as well, Ray Harm Jr., so that's how we kind of got a lot of, the collection as well. I think he did some ranger work here back in the day. There's some funny stories that they were telling me about Ray Harm Jr. just because he was a nature dude, kind of like his dad was, and nature was just secondhand, and people were shocked at just how comfortable he was with nature and how knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty cool to talk about.
And I know as soon as we walked into the lodge, I knew his work before we got here. And when we walked into the lodge room, I was like, oh my gosh, there's real prints here.
Mm-hmm.
So that was neat in our room. I wasn't expecting that. So that's another thing I think, of just loads of things that make you all unique and special, I think. And all of that with 100 years of history.
Mm-hmm.
You all have a deep, rich history.
There's a lot of history up here on the mountain. So I like to talk to everybody about the Civilian Conservation Corps, which is a part of Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal. Mm-hmm. So that was giving families the opportunity to come out and work during the Great Depression. So the CCC was built up of a lot of poor families coming in to make a living. So these guys were building this place just with the stuff that they were finding. So,
sure.
I mean, imagine
the rocks that were laying around.
You just find rocks, you chisel them to look cool, and then you put them in there and you mortar them yourself. And I mean, you're living in the wilderness when you're doing that. So it's kind of crazy to think about all the work that went into that.
None of this was here when they arrived.
Right.
They built it.
Right. So I always give them their due. And you can go on Hemlock Garden and kind of see the little barbecue pits they built just to kind of make themselves lunch and stuff like that. So it's really cool history. Cool. That is surrounding this park. There's a bridge that's still in use today that they built. So it's around the Long Hunter Cave trail, and it's also around the upper shelter. So you'll cross that bridge. That's an original CCC bridge, just to let you know how good at what they did they were. It's still in operation today.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's a special part of the nation's history, and how it coincides with our Kentucky history is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So. Okay, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want us to make sure we talk about before we go?
Just the absolute really cool biodiversity that we have on this mountain. Like if you're an animal nerd like I am, my bread and butter is animals. I was a little kid watching the Crocodile Hunter on Animal Planet, and I'd sneak up to my grandparents' house to watch it. So I was always the nerd when it comes to like animals and nature. So it's always been a big part of my life. It's all I've ever wanted to do. So if you're like me and you're that kid that loves that stuff, or if you're just wanting to maybe dip your toes into nature, there's so much to see up here. We have rare species of salamander, like the green salamanders that live in the rock crevices that you don't get a lot of people. You don't get at a lot of other places. But the immense biodiversity that this area has, you can come out and you can see the birds, you can see the bobcats, the bears, coyotes, fox, all kinds of reptiles and amphibians, timber rattlesnakes, copperheads, all kinds of things, and we want to actually get people and kind of show them that this is an important area and it's important to conserve this place.
Sure.
So basically, if you come up, enjoy some of our activities, fall in love with the place like I have, and it's going to be here for a long time after me. So that's one of the parts that really makes me happy with it. So come up and enjoy our nature, our events, all the things that we do up here.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Yep.
You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.